What's up, guys? It's Desrow. Welcome to another VOD review. Unfortunately for us today, we're gonna be doing sort of the same as last time. This time, instead of being Diva Reinhardt, it's gonna be Diva Zarya. So a little bit of the same, a little bit of tanking. This time, though, we have a plat player on PC instead of a gold player on Xbox. So things are gonna be a bit different. So yeah, let's get started. The sound is a bit loud. And I got my pen here as well today. See if I need to draw anything. And yeah, let's get into it. So here I'm looking for the key mistakes that can be fixed to actually improve the gameplay, to get you to the next level. Of course, I'm not the best tank, so maybe there's things that I will say that are actually wrong. Actually, let me get the visual keyboard. Visual keyboard. Hello, on screen. Keyboard, because I don't have a numpad, in case you guys forgot. So let's speed things up. Doing a few emotes with the diva. Don't be AFK. Alright, so here you have 2 good DPS. And maybe Diva's not best tank for attack. She's not so bad. Unfortunately, your McCree went soldier. This is played on the Australia server, so you might hear a little bit more accents than normal. Trying to take some damage for your team, trying to damage the... You're a bit far away there. Like, I would be a bit closer to the Reinhardt. Alright, this guy is just talking about the show. We're gonna mute for now. Yeah, so, like, you don't really want to play with the team. Like, you want to try to do your own thing. Like, yeah, going for the Hanzo here is, like, a really good move. It really is a good move. You want to be in line of sight of Ana so she can help you out. So you want to try to make sure you know like where your healers are. And yeah, it's just everything crumbled. Your people didn't survive that push. So let's fast forward to the next. Alright. So yeah, you want to try to find the Hanzo. You want to try to find the backline, the people that are hopeless to like beat you. And yeah, the Zarya. So basically, like with Diva, the last thing you want to do is be in range of the Zarya, because she's gonna left click you and make you lose your mech, and that's really when you stop being effective. Is when you lose your mech. They use 2 ults there. They use Graviton and the Dragon Strike. No, that's not the name. I always forget the name of the Onzo ult. All right, you killed the Diva. That was nice. You gotta dive in there, man. You can't really be shooting all that far with Diva. It really doesn't help. And just a disclaimer, Ral, I'm not reading chat at all while I do this. So if I'm like picking on a mistake, like a few times it annoys you, I just can't read the chat and be putting out a good flow of information and a good flow of train of thought. So your ult here, it's average. Like, I might have just backed out because you didn't even get back in your mech after that. So I might have just wiped, because the moment there's a Reinhardt, if people have a brain, they're gonna sit behind the shield. So maybe before you were about to die, you dash forward and actually you throw your ult a little bit like a bowling ball, like like you throw the ult and then you see if you're gonna knock a few pins, because a bowling ball that just sits still is not gonna knock any pins. And it's a shitty analogy, but you get the point. Usually when you get out of your mech and your suit is stationary, the ultimate's not gonna get that many kills. You got a kill, which wasn't that bad. But yeah, like every time you're like full HP, you want to like be disrupting the backline. You don't want to be next to the Zarya. Breaking the Reinhardt shield is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of time Diva players will be like, "Oh, I have gold damage." Yeah, well, you're shooting a lot of the Reinhardt shield. You also want to make sure, like here is like a little bit of a mistake. I want to make sure to highlight. Whenever I play Zarya, I like to shield my Reinhardt, because a lot of people will do like you're doing, which is shooting directly in the middle of the shield. And if the Reinhardt is bubbled, the bubble is like a 360 bubble or whatever, and it goes in front of the shield. So you're actually giving more energy to the Zarya. So you want to make sure to be attacking around the bubble. Well, actually, let me pick a different color here. You want to be attacking around the bubble and not directly in the middle. I'm sure you understand that. Right. Cool. Let's continue. Alright, so you get pinned. Very unfortunate. But then again, I feel like your positioning was off. Like, you shouldn't be on top of your Reinhardt. I mean, like, it does make sense to some extent to like be trying to eat projectile to assist him, but think of Diva more like a Winston. You know, like a Winston will jump in, drop his shield, be annoying, and then jump out. Now, Diva's a little bit slower at doing that because obviously, like, the flying speed is a lot slower than the diving of Winston. But sitting with your Reinhardt over there doesn't make you do much besides breaking the shield. So you want to be like flying maybe like over the tanks and then go into the back line, which you know they'll have to turn back for you. And then while they're turning back for you, then your team just be like, hey guys, I'm diving in, make sure to apply pressure and push. Like obviously they might take that the wrong way and actually go suicide, and they'll you know they'll be imbeciles. But the good people will start to realize, like, as you're pushing in, you're creating space for them, because you know sometimes the tanks have to turn around, like the Zarya has to shield in the back and shield the Reinhardt. They can start picking on the Reinhardt. That's how you create space. But if you just stay with your team as a death ball, like you're no Zarya, you're no Roadhog, you're not gonna be as effective. So here you're trying to all right, you jump on the Hanzo, don't fully quite kill him. You waste a lot of matrix because you're not sure who's around the corner. So I would really try to manage the matrix a lot more, especially if you're next to the Reinhardt. The matrix is really good for the Reaper and the Hanzo to some extent, and then you can eat the Zarya ultimate as well. Um, but yeah, like right here, I would scout ahead, and then maybe not on your first. Yeah. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, you kind of saved the team there by staying with the team. So I can see, you know, finally you throw it, and the Winston bubble actually like completely crushes you. That's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. The Winston's a good fight for you, but again, the Zarya, you want to stay as far away as possible. You dive back. Maybe I would have dived ahead, like on the catwalk. I would have gone ahead instead of back. That way, you're still like aware of what's going on in the fight, but you're not like having to re-engage. All right. So you're jumping on the Hanzo. You don't quite finish him, trying to help the team instead. That works out for you. Not entirely bad. Zarya doesn't have her bubble. She didn't have her bubble. Ah, yeah, with the Hanzo ult, she kind of had to get out of there. It's a numbers game, so... oh, gonna throw again the... Oh, nice. Very nice, very nice. I was a bit skeptical, but, you know, the Hanzo and the Ana were really playing far in the back. You think she's alive? Yeah, sometimes that happens to me as well. All right, so you got that. That's really great. That's really great. This last part is really good for Diva. You can make sure the Hanzo doesn't stay on the high ground, which is good. The Zenyatta, I think, fell back or intentionally wiped himself to make sure he gets back with the team. They're very staggered right now. You guys are 6v4, so it's a good time to push in. When you see momentum like that, try to incite your teammates and pushing in. I haven't listened into the comms at all. This guy's, I guess, he's making calls for you. We're gonna listen in a little bit, see how the communication goes. You killed a Hanzo, that's good. You're gonna need some heals, and if you actually get a lot of heals here, that would help Ana get a boost. So when you have a Ana, she has like really bursty heals. So yeah, you can press X. You know, try to find your Ana and just like press X a bunch. Cause you kind of do your own thing, and you don't seem to like pay much attention to your support. Now, if you're gonna stay 3 on the payload, and yeah, nice, you guys got it. So that was sweet. Let's fast forward onto the next. So, really, with your Diva, just the positioning and the playstyle. Go for the backline more, a little bit of like go in and back out. Don't stay too much with the team. Unless, you know, like that time where you ate the Reaper ult, that was good, because there's times where you kind of have to expect them to have ultimates. Also, when you die, try to watch the death cam. I'm not saying you didn't, but try to watch the death cam to see the ult percentage. But sometimes you just have to guess and estimate. In that situation, You know, if you think the Zarya is gonna have her ultimate, then it's okay to stay with the death ball so you can eat it. Or when the Reaper jumped in, it's a good time. But other than that, the divas usually that I see are a little bit more aggressive and they dive in and they disrupt so that your team can move in because they have to turn back for you and then they collapse onto the enemy team. So yeah, positioning, playstyle, and then the ultimates. Your first ultimate was stationary. After that, you went bowling twice. Um, did you? No, no, no. Was your ult in the middle? Your ult in the middle, I think, was stationary as well. So your first two ults were average. The third one you threw, but you didn't get anyone, and the fourth one you got a double. So that was good, but you know a little bit more work. But yeah, no, not a too shabby diva at all. No, you're gonna be playing Zarya, so you're gonna take a look at that. Oh, I kind of wanted to see the comp. Let's see if you press tab again. Otherwise, I might have to go back. Okay, I think you have Soldier, Reaper, Reinhardt, Lucio. There's probably a Ana somewhere as well. They have a Hanzo on the second floor. Try to. Your first shield is really important. And. Okay, so here you miss your first two shields. First of all, you shielded the Reinhardt for no reason. The Hanzo was throwing arrows, but just. They're most likely going to have a Reinhardt. So that's how you want to get your 100 energy so quickly. So the Reinhardt throws the Flame Strike. Tell your Reinhardt, hey, eat the Flame Strike. You shield the Reinhardt, you shield yourself, you eat a Flame Strike, 100 energy right off the bat. Then you can right click a lot. If you're in range of the other Reinhardt shield, you can left click the shield, help your team break it. And then, yeah, being 100 energy is really important. But right off the bat, you made a pretty big mistake there, not capitalizing on free energy. And then right there, you shielded the Reaper. He was in shade form. I mean, it happens to me too, but I'm just, you know, usually when he's in shade form, he can still give you energy if he receives damage in terms of AoE or if like people attack him or whatnot. But they're usually not gonna attack shaded, bubbled Reaper. So your Reinhardt is just, you know, playing an hotel. I don't know what he's doing. Actually, I think this is still on a little bit faster. No, it's not. It's just in my head it seems fast, but let's see if we can hear the comms. If you say anything. Nice. Luccio's hyped. He really wants to win. He's been on a dry run for a while. Alright, so you have really high energy right now. So at this point when you have really high energy, you just want to make sure that you shield for the damage and not for the energy. Like you want to have like clutch shields. All right, nice call. You want to left clicker a lot. And you always want to try to track in the center of the target because on the extremities the left click is a little bit weak.
Hey, watch out!
Oh, thank you, Rick. Oh, really? Come on, monsieur. I'm recording something right now. Thank you, Reactive Cat, for the host. Really appreciate it. Alright. My dog got told. Oh, so yeah, the Reaper's behind. You have an ultimate here. I'm not sure what's the count. Oh, killed the Mei as well. Oh, and you ult before getting pinned, which works out. You know, your Reaper cleans up. Right, and the Reinhardt as an ultimate. Sometimes you can say that Reinhardt as ult. You know, you probably used it while you were dead because you know you watched the death cam for a while. Honestly, like I wouldn't have even watched the death cam. The moment I see the ult percentage, you can kind of estimate if they're gonna have an ult, and then you can wipe it. Of course, if you're like really confused on why you die, watching all of it is not bad. Usually, I go left exit instead of right. I don't know which is quicker. I think left is better and right is more like you lost the point and you want to make sure you're not gonna get picked off by an enemy pushing to try to kill the respawn. So I always try to go left. Alright, so you're doing pretty good in terms of energy, but so your positioning here is a bit weak because your Reinhardt died, so you can't be the first one in. I mean, like you're a tank, so sometimes it's like expected of you, but The moment your self shield is down and your other tank is down, it's really hard for Zarya to be the first one in. She dies very quickly. Unless you were like Anna boosted. So yeah, at this point, they're 5 on the point. You're gonna lose it. Um, if you're dead and you like can see the numbers, like like there's 2 people left alive on point versus 5 or 6, try to call for retreats so you can just group up and do 6v6. So, so just say like, hey, 6v6, please regroup, because at least like you have a few people talking in your game. With like this Reinhardt just loves to tell you his shield number, for example. It's much better than people being mutes and doing sign language. All right, so right now you're 3, and I would actually like do a 180 or a 360 rather with my hero, with your hero, to see who's around and how like close you guys are to fighting a 6v6. Because if you're taking a fight here, but let's say there's only like 1 guy or 2 guy behind you in the Reinhardt, it's a 4v6. So you got to make sure which corner you want to hold, and you kind of want to talk about it a little bit, because some of your teammates, your 2 teammates that suicided for the point, they got the back spawn, which means they spawn all the way back to the really far away spawn, like back spawn. That's what it means. It's really far in the back. So since they got back spawn, it's gonna be. All right. Sorry about that. My dog is just going ham today because there's people working around the house. All right. So yeah, so exactly like here it seems like the Reaper joined you, the Ana joined you, and the Lucio was around. So it's at least a 5v6, so it's not so bad. I would try to suggest your teammates to make them boost the Reaper instead of the Reinhardt. If they have a Hanzo, if they have a McCree, you need that shield. Give me a second. All right, so let's continue. I had to close my door because it don't seem like my dog is gonna stop anytime soon. Okay, so you take out the Reinhardt, your team. There's 5 left alive. Seems like you killed a lot of them. Oh, actually, you didn't kill all of them, but you killed 3. So you lost 2 there. You were 5. Oof, you lost a lot of people here. I would not ult. You probably inclined to ult, but yeah, nice. You didn't ult, so that was smart. So it was a 5v3, and they turned it around, and then it became a 2v3, and then you guys kind of like stuck around. So based on your like HP and all that, actually, let me go a second, because I think you don't have hell bars for your teammates, which is a huge no. I just need to see your team before. Yeah, I know you have the hell bars turned on, because that's something that a lot of people like, because it's very new since the last patch. So a lot of people are not new to that, but just want to make sure that you add it. Let's fast forward a bit. So at this point, yeah, you have to give up that checkpoint, and you guys seem to understand that fact. Your positioning. So the Reinhardt. Let's go back a bit. Okay, so you're positioning. Fast forward again. Okay, so your Reinhardt is sitting here, and you're actually going to the left past the corner. So you realize like the amount of like distance that you're going past the corner. It's actually like really not good. Like you see, like you're going like very far to the left, and so that makes you exposed for a very long time to a lot of things. You're trying to shoot past the shield, which is not a bad thing. It's very smart, but then you get caught for the graviton, and then you guys are gonna have to wipe, which is unfortunate. In a situation like this, running Ana, running a Zen instead of a Lucio can help. So it's something that you can try your teammates. You can try to convince your teammates, like, hey, Lucio, do you think you can play Zen? Because they have too much damage in the Graviton, and Zenyatta would help us survive the Graviton. So that's something you can work on. Because, sometimes when they have combos, unless you have the right answer for it, you just don't have any other option but to die. Because, Overwatch is such a game about power plays and momentum that sometimes nothing can be done here. 4v6, really tough position. You don't have any Reinhardt in front of you to help you negate damage. You're just eating a lot of it. And yeah, you guys are going to go to the next round pretty quick here. So you see the Zarya is going to have ultimate, so that's something you can call with your death cam. Your I don't know who was KFC was playing. I don't know if he was one of the healers, but you went Bastion. Seems like you're gonna hold. When you see people take stall heroes to make sure, like, you stall as much as possible. If you win, if you wipe them once, it can be good to tell them, like, hey, we wiped them. I don't think we need more stall heroes. Maybe we can get back on a good comp, or we can get back to what we had. That's something you can suggest. Of course, all these advice I'm giving you are more towards maybe, like, you're playing with like 3 or 4 friends, because usually if like you're trying to, like, if you have a lot of knowledge and you're trying to, at least in my experience, when you have a lot of knowledge and you're trying to distribute it around, it really comes down to your finesse of telling others to do things. Because if you lack tact and you're not like friendly all the time, people are going to take it really personally, and they're not going to want to listen to you because they feel like they're getting bossed around. And so all these advice I'm giving you, and all that information that, yes, is helpful, but it's out of your hands completely. It can get really difficult. Now, this guy's going Roadhog, which is not helping you at all. But yeah, your Zarya play, I mean, some of your shielding was a bit wrong, but you seem to understand, like, whenever your Reinhardt would be dead, you'd be like not sure if you wanted to go in, and it was the right call, because you can't just go in without someone in front of you. As Zarya is just the first one in, you're gonna die a lot. Your Gravitons, I didn't see you like try to combo or anything. Like, you had it and you used it. But it's just, nothing stood out to me as like, oh wow, that was a really great Graviton where you worked with a teammate to make sure you guys comboed something. Like, okay, so you guys here are running 3 tank, 1 healer. That's a bit brutal. Oh yeah, I think I watched a VOD and they were like, oh yeah, just go Lucio. And so what they're doing is not necessarily bad, but honestly, Roadhog, Winston don't really pair all that well together. Zarya, Roadhog, Zarya, Winston, Reinhardt, Roadhog, even Reinhardt, Winston are better combos. And the D.Va is really more out of left field. Like, I've subbed for teams where it was Winston D.Va, and you would just dive a lot. But as far as Roadhog, Winston, I've never seen that combo, and so you guys can suggest, like, hey, we could use the Graviton for the Genji ult, or we could use this for that. So you can always try to convince them to have a more straight up composition. Of course, it's at lower levels, without being disrespectful to you. So Roadhog, Winston can always work out. They're struggling to deal with the Winston right now, and they did have a Reaper, but I guess he was busy doing other stuff. Now you're positioning as Lucio. You're keeping a lot of teammates in line of sight, using speed boost. So using Impit up, you really have to be conscious about how you use it. Burst of healing with Impit up rarely saves someone. So it's just about being patient most of the time. And like right now you use your ult, so you want to switch it up and go speed mode, because no one needs heals for the time being for like the next like 5-6 seconds. Do you want to amp it up? It really depends. Do you think you can secure a kill with amp it up? If you can, like right now you just amp it up when mostly everyone is full. So it's I wouldn't say it's very easy to um, it's very easy to make the wrong plays with Lucio without realizing that you're losing a lot of his potential. I think it's a very fair thing to say. Um, so you just want to trickle in with the heals, and someone wants to push, like Winston wants to jump in, Reaper wants to ult. If you don't have your imp it up and you were just, imping it up your heals for no actual good reason, then you're just hurting your chances of having like smooth fights. Sometimes imp it up on heals can be good. For an example, when Mei is ulting like that, uh, it's just the ult is doing a little bit of damage. So you imp it up before you get frozen. Or sometimes you can, as soon as you hear the Mei ult go off, you imp it up with speed, try to get out. But it really comes down to positioning and doesn't always work out. But yeah, another example is when you imp it up to heal, and then you see one of your teammates out of position, then you don't have imp it up with speed to get him out of that position, for example. Yeah, Mei just having ults on ults finally dies. That's great for you guys. Um, Also, one thing, you don't need to be on top of the payload to heal everyone, because the way the payload works is uh, there's like a crack underneath the payload, which makes it that you can use like any spells. Like for example, like with a Reinhardt, you can hurt Shatter, and if someone's on the other side of the payload, it will hit him because the payload isn't like an object that blocks, because there's like it's floating. So anything that's like underground, such as Lucio's heals or Earth Shatter, I'm sure there's other examples that it's not coming to mind right now. But so anyway, right now you guys are in overtime and you're really killing it. Just killed a Mercy. You've got your Roadhog just died on point. Your Genji's jumping around. Your Winston's jumping around. Okay, so you get back on heals. You really want to be careful. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Well, that it had to come to the end eventually. Don't think even if you survive there, your team would have made it in time to have an impact. And yeah, let's fast forward to more. All right, so are they gonna make you heal again? No, that guy's go Lucio. So you're trying to go Diva. You get back in spawn. You're talking about picks. Roadhog Diva. All right, Roadhog Diva. Again, a little bit like Roadhog Winston. Not the greatest combos of tanks. The way it works, I mean, a Reinhardt is always very nice. It can be really, tough to Reinhardt, and because you have to trust your teammates. It's a little bit like like that thing where they're like, just fall and I'll catch you, and it's like an exercise of trusting the person you're doing the exercise with. Reinhardt feels a lot like that, but when it comes to tanking, unless you're running a dive comp with like Winston and Diva, for example, or Winston Zarya or Reinhardt is a must on any kind of tanking composition. So right now you have a Diva and a Roadhog. It's just not that great. So if I were you, I would have played Zarya again here. Even though there would not really be anyone to be in front for you, because you don't want to be in front. Roadhog doesn't want to be in front. You're really missing that Reinhardt. But you guys are making it work. You get 2 kills off. There's a minute 15 left. That's about 2 fights. You're not with the team this time. You're more on the side. I mean, you don't you don't have any. Oh, they boosted the Reinhardt because the enemies took a lot of damage quickly. Oh, and you actually get him down. That's really good. Right now you're in direct contact with the Zarya. You do kill her thanks to the help of your teammates, which is nice. But again, like being in direct contact with the Zarya, you kind of want to avoid that. So you're gonna be on the left side. You almost have your ultimate. Let's see how you use it. Left side wouldn't be necessarily bad because you can really fly out of there quickly. Not sure. You want to be on the high ground. You really don't have that much range. Think a little bit of oh, let's see. Oh, and you like made it against the wall Wow, the triple. That was really nice. Really, really nice. I think if you made it not go against the wall, it would have not got as many kills as it did. And the timing was good too, because now they have like to suicide to touch point to make sure to get overtime, and it's just going to be a lot of work for them. Genji's going to be ulting. You help with that. You got out of Graviton? I'm not sure what you got out of. I guess it was Graviton. And then, yeah, you did it. You won the game. Let's see what you actually say to your teammates.
Anyone like that triple kill? Or?
Toothing your own horn. That's totally okay. But yeah, that was it. That was your Diva, Zarya, and Lucio. Lucio, amp it up usage, really important to be self-conscious and how you use it and not overuse it. Your Diva positioning, ultimates usage. I mean, at the end, you really redeem yourself, but the first few ults were a bit not great. What else? Positioning, playstyle. You know, if they have ultimates, you want to stay with the team, which you did once for Reaper, but I don't think maybe that was planned. So it's just something you have to think about. And then when it came to Zarya, really shielding the flame strikes, talking with your teammates, comboing your ultimate. And the positioning again, like you got picked off a few times, that really didn't help. Not being the first in front. Trying to not be staggered, trying to pick the 6v6, talking about your teammates like, hey guys, we're down like 1 or 2, maybe like fight this corner instead, make sure we're all there and all that. You guys kind of had a gentleman agreement, like you guys had like telekinesis or something, or no, was that whatever, like the one thing that like you think whatever people are thinking, or you know what people are thinking, like whatever that science that, or that, I don't know if it's fake science or whatever, but anyway, point is, you guys kind of like all agreed to give up the second checkpoint when you were on defense, and it was the right call, but no one talked about it. So maybe, you know, like, oh guys, we have to give up the checkpoint. And then yeah, your Lucio to amp it up, and also speed mode, very important to help teammates retreat, to do power plays when you pop your ult, when the Zenyatta pops his ult. And then, yeah, at the end, your Diva was pretty good. You didn't play too much with the team. You kind of attacked. And then, yeah. So, yeah, thank you, Ralph, for submitting a VOD review. For you guys that don't know on YouTube, so watching for 24 hours gives you something like 1,500 sticks, and with those sticks you can submit a VOD review. So basically, if you watch the streams for like 24 hours, you know, throughout like 2 weeks or a month, eventually you can buy a VOD review for free. I don't know how long I'll keep those for. For now, I've done 2 in 2 days, so it's been great, and I hope those were really informative. I try to be, you know, as upbeat and as informative as I can. If there's anything you disagree with me, or there's anything you know, any comments you want to leave, put them in the YouTube description below. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'll be making those as long as I get requests to do them. So thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and have a good time.